Hi everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, and first of all I want to apologize because the last couple of videos were in the wrong orientation. Sorry about that. I guess I wasn't paying attention very well, and hopefully this will be rectified. And then also it is Thursday, so it's a week and 4 days after Bill's crash. Anyway, I'm waiting for my parents to get here, so I may leave fairly suddenly, but I wanted to do a couple things in here, and I just wanted to talk to you today because today's really different in how I'm feeling than it has been, and I felt like it was important to talk about that. I am, oh my gosh, so depressed today. It has been really, really hard. I would say that the first and second days were the absolute worst. They were the worst days of my entire life. They were awful. This, as far as the grieving and recovery, I don't really know how to compare it to the rest of my life, but today is like the third worst day in this recent process. And and I don't really know why. I mean, there's not like anything specific that caused it. I had told you yesterday, I believe, about the whole, I could have Bill's ashes mailed to me thing, and that had actually struck a funny bone. But then a really weird thing happened, and last night it was like, I don't think I was completely serious, but there was this part of me that was like, what if I could have him ship them, and then he could like come back to life from the ashes, and it wasn't like I'm going to pray that God will resurrect him from the dead. It wasn't that. It was more like, I don't know, there was no sense to it at all, so I'm not really going to try to make sense from it. I think that's probably the best thing. My former pastor, Vant Hardaway, I really like this angel. She helps me. And sometimes like I'll be sitting here and I'm thinking or just praying, and it's really smooth and it feels cold, kind of. Not cold, but cool compared to the room temperature. And then this, if I don't want smooth, there's this really nice texture. Things like that are just really, really affecting me right now. And the fact that she's an angel and praying also, obviously affects that as well. But anyway, my former pastor, Vant Hardaway, used to say, don't try to make sense out of nonsense. So I try to kind of figure out why I'm thinking or doing something, and then if I can't really figure it out, then I put it into the category of nonsense and decide that I'm not going to try to figure it out. So that's what I do. Ooh, I think that's good. Okay, what I want, I'm going to put this picture of Bill with his bees. And I want to be able to either journal or, print something out that I've written to put there, but I haven't written anything yet. So I'll probably actually write it by hand, because I want, quite a bit of handwritten stuff in here, and I haven't done much of that yet. I've done a little. So anyway, so that was that thing of thinking somehow that I could get him back was very, very weird and kind of scared me. I mean, I thought, oh my gosh, I am seriously going insane, because at the same time that I'm thinking I could do this, I'm also going, this is completely wacko. And anyway, then I started reading this book. I think it's called I Wasn't Ready to Say Goodbye. I'll try to remember to link it below. And you guys, anytime if I say I'll link something and then I forget, just ask me and I'm happy to link it. It's just right now it's hard to remember to do stuff. Anyway, it's been a pretty helpful book, and it's about people who lose their loved ones to some sudden death, whether it's a heart attack, something that's not expected, which Bill's certainly was not expected. Anyway, apparently that's kind of normal. It's like I think my mind is trying to find any way that it can to make me think that he's not gone. And the way that they explain it is, this is how they explain denial, not necessarily what I just was talking about, but I think that's kind of a kind of denial. The way that they explain it is that your body and your spirit just can't handle the tragedy all at one time so suddenly. And so your body and your mind just kind of create a defense mechanism, like a cushion around you, so that you're not able to even have the whole reality at once, and gradually that'll come to you. And so that's comforting, because I was really feeling like, I mean, it was real the first couple days, and then it just became unreal. And even sometimes my marriage to him seems unreal, you know, and I don't want to lose the reality of that, and I'm so scared. But this helped me to understand that I'm not going to lose the reality of it. And I'm not sleeping well. I did get to bed at like 10:30 last night, and but I woke up at 2:30 and never really got back to sleep after that. I think maybe I dozed a couple times, but I didn't get back to sleep. And Eli didn't even have to go out. He was like making a lot of noise sleeping, and that tends to keep me awake, but I don't think it was really because of that. I think it was just, you know, I'm not sleeping well. So anyway, so today I'm having to keep affirming that choice that I've made for hope and trust and life. And it's really, really, really hard. I've got to have something about his sweater making, obviously, in our store in here. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put that. I want to make sure I leave enough room to talk about his bees. And I might want to have, oh, this is perfect, yeah. I might want to have like a few more pictures of his bees, so I think I want to leave at least that much space. Isn't that cute, that chandelier with, she put these little rhinestones on it? This is just so sweet. And this paper I've printed off of Fix-A-Babe before. I'm not absolutely sure that's where she got it, but that's where I've gotten it. Do I already have a picture of him with, yes I do, with Calypso. Oh, have I put this picture in here? Okay, this was Calypso, and then this is Abigail that we have. They were sisters, but we didn't have them at the same time. That was from when we first started traveling down here. This was her first car trip, and we had only had her for like a week or maybe even less. I'm pretty sure I don't have this in here yet. Okay, so let's put this in someplace. That would be cute. Anyway, so yeah, I just am having I am still choosing to trust God. I am still choosing life. I am still choosing hope. I think what I need to do is, and maybe, I don't think it'll be in this journal, because this is about our marriage. But I think maybe in my summer journal, what I need to do is make a list of things that I'm hoping to do or something. I don't know, because it really helped me the other day when Kathleen was over and we were making plans. And like I said, you know, it really didn't matter whether those plans actually come to fruition or not. It was just the possibility of plans that I think helped. So, I think that really gave me hope. So I think I need to do that. I need to just like write down a possible plan each day, you know, something for the future, even if it's like tomorrow I'm going to have corned beef hash. I don't know. But just something that will help me to have hope. I remember reading many years ago that the best way to keep kids off drugs is to make sure that they have a plan. Ooh, I like that on the blue. Make sure that they have a plan for their future. And, you know, that's probably applicable when you're grieving too. I don't know, but I'm just thinking that. And that might not help a lot of other people. It might just be me. I am really into planning things. I love to plan things. Even if I never do them, I just enjoy planning. And so, yeah, I think I need to do that each day. And then just also each evening, in the book that I'm reading, it talks about establishing a grieving ritual where you spend some time each day doing something to help you work through your grief. And I realized that my time with you guys on YouTube and either working on this or just talking or doing something in the Bible, but really it's the time with you guys on YouTube is kind of my grieving ritual. And so yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, so I think here then I'll talk about our decision to move to Tennessee. So I'm going to have a bunch of pictures of the house and stuff. Okay, but we'll start with this picture. I have a whole journal that we were making, or I was making, but we were talking about it together, but I was the one putting it together, of our decision to move down here and buying the house up in the mountains and everything and stuff. So, anyway, I'm not sure what my plans are for today. My plans were to start working on sorting bills and papers and stuff, but it's like it's not urgent, and I totally believe in the whole tyranny of the urgent thing, that you want to take care of things while they're important and not wait till they get urgent. But I'm also feeling I'm so worn down, and I just feel like I need to kind of take a day from that stuff. Maybe I should do it today while my parents are here, and then tomorrow maybe just ask them if I can just have a day by myself. They've said that they understand if I need that sometimes. So maybe I will go ahead and do bills today, but I just feel like I need a day where I don't have anything pressing. And I still have a lot of stuff that has to be done, that has to be done soon. But nothing that's like, we're going to take your house or charge you $500 a day like I had at the beginning. Yeah, that was the thing. Okay, so the day after Bill died in the car crash, I went out and got the mail, and there were two things in it. One was a notice from the city that our grass had gotten too high, and I'll explain that in a minute. And so if I didn't get it taken care of by a certain date, then they were going to start charging me $500 a day until it got done. And the other thing was a notice from the IRS that they were going to seize our property if we didn't pay $4,000 some odd dollars. And it was like, oh my gosh, my husband has just died, And so, hopefully this is not stuff that you're going through if you're going through grief. Hopefully you don't have anything like death in life like that, and I was here by myself, which for the most part has been really good. But for that particular thing, it would have been really helpful to have somebody that I could have, my dad was on his way, but it would have been helpful if I had had somebody that I could say, can you call these people and, or whatever, arrange for somebody to mow the lawn or something. So what had happened with the lawn was that we had somebody who was mowing our lawn, and they just stopped showing up, and then we got a bill that said that they'd come every other week, and we had arranged with them to come every 3 weeks, and they had come every 3 weeks. And Bill emailed and said, hey, what's going on with this? It was, just a nice inquiry. It wasn't anything rude or anything. And also, you guys haven't come at all in June, and we never heard back from them, and they never showed up. So I don't know if they went out of business or if they were mad at us or what. I have no idea. He did pay them. He paid them for what they asked, even though they hadn't done that. I noticed that because the check came through after he passed away. So he had been, going to look for somebody to do the yard, and I think he had started making phone calls, but of course I didn't know who all he had called or anything. So I had that on my plate that had to be taken care of right away, and I did. I found somebody I thought that I had one person lined up, but they never followed through, so then I had to find somebody else, and by then it was getting panicky because I had waited for this first person who has actually, I've hired him a few times and he's not come through, so I think that's it on that. Some people just aren't reliable, and that's how they are, so you just need to deal with it. And then the tax thing, as I started unraveling things with our finances, which I still haven't completely figured everything out, but I did find that he had pulled money from his brokerage account, from his dividends, into his account that he could write a check from. But I don't have access to that. And it was enough, along with the rent check, to make to pay off the IRS. So he had made arrangements to do that and was going to do that up there in Maryland after he got this other money. But because he died, I have no access to that account yet. It's frozen now. And so I couldn't pay the IRS. So I had to make arrangements with them. And then hopefully once everything's taken care of with his estate and everything, then I'll be able to just pay that off, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, that was like two huge pressing things that it was like immediately had to be taken care of. And I couldn't even take the time to take a breath and cry and weep over my husband. And yeah, honestly, I really resent that, even though IRS and the city they had nothing to do with Bill's death. They had nothing to do with, they didn't know that he died when they sent out those notices. They obviously sent them before he died. It's just that your spirit wants to blame somebody for what you're going through. And this is what I'm reading in this book too, because I knew that this was a totally irrational feeling of anger that I have towards them. It's not a lot of anger. It's just like, gosh, why don't you guys be sensitive? And it's like, how could they be sensitive? They didn't know. They still don't know. Well, the IRS does, but the city doesn't know. I haven't told anybody there. I haven't called them up and said, hey, by the way, my husband died. I haven't done that. It's like I feel funny telling people unless they were good friends, because how do you broach that topic? And so I just try to act as normal as I can around people unless they say, are you okay? And then I tell them, well, I just lost my husband, in an accident. And then that really helps. So anyway, yeah. So those things were on my plate on top of everything else. And I'm not really sure what the point was in saying that, other than just, I had one day where I had like about 3/4 of my day was filled with taking care of things. And then I had a few hours where I went and sat in different rooms in our house and allowed myself to have memories and to grieve. But I think I need a day. I need a whole day. There's no way I'm going to get that because I work 6 days a week, and then on my day off on Monday we have to go up to Jonesboro, and there's no getting around that. It has to be done on my day off. So I think that the best I'm going to get is possibly tomorrow. I work in the morning and then I work in the evening, but if maybe I can take the rest of the day just by myself. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Anyway, yeah, I'm having a hard time breathing today. And I'm just assuming that has something to do with the grief. I don't think that I'm having a panic attack, but I'm just having a hard time breathing, and I feel, as a result, a little lightheaded. So anyway, I'm sharing that. I'm not trying to whine and complain. I'm just sharing because I want you all to know that if you're experiencing anything similar, we have this in common. From what I understand, what I'm experiencing is normal, but normal is different for everybody. But these are like, there's like a whole bunch of different things that you might experience, and this is some of it. So I just, I'm sharing, and I specifically got on today because I wanted to make sure that I shared this stuff, because by tonight I might feel different. That's the whatever you call it, the character of the beast. There's another phrase for it. I'm just like losing my words here, but that's just how it is that you can feel really depressed one minute and you'll feel pretty good another minute, and you'll feel pretty good one minute and then really depressed the next minute. Today I've been pretty consistently depressed. I'm going to take some St. John's wort. I took that yesterday, and that I think helped. It doesn't keep me from mourning, but because I've had, oh my word, I had Prozac, 15 years ago for a few months, and I could not cry. I felt sad, but I couldn't cry. I do not want something like that. I have never heard of anybody else having that reaction. I would assume that I'm not the only person, but I think it usually works well for people. But for me, that was, not being able to cry is really bad. So I'm gonna try to avoid, and I don't think that I need something as strong as a actual medication. I think that that I can deal with this herbally. So anyway, yeah, that's where I am. So I'm going to let you all go because I don't really have anything else to say, and my parents should be here soon. But I just wanted to tell you about what I'm experiencing today. And again, this is 4 days and a week after my husband died. And that's him with the cat. Kind of looks like the cat's morphing into him, or he's morphing into a cat or something, but she's so cute. She loved going on car trips, on road trips And I don't know if she still would or not, because we haven't, since we moved here. We had been taking her back and forth like every month for like about a year. But when we moved here, then, we haven't done anything like that. Bill just took all the trips up to Maryland and left me here to, it was just easier for us to have me here taking care of the animals. And I had to work, and if I went up with him, then we would have lost a lot of income. So, anyway. Yeah. So I love you all. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.